So today's tournament, the theme is the word sealed. So all 16 items will have to do with the word sealed in some way. Here are the first 16 items in the tournament, and by first 16, I mean the only 16. Item number 1 is breaking the seal. Breaking the seal is something that happens after you've had an evening of drinking and you go to the bathroom for the first time, and then you have to pee every 5 minutes after that. Item number 2 is the song Signed, Sealed, Delivered. It's Stevie Wonder at his best. Item number 3, seals. They're an animal, and they're awesome, and they fit in this category. Item number 4 is Seal, the singer. Have you been kissed by a rose? The fifth one, 5, the Cask of Amontillado. If you're not careful, you'll be sealed up in the basement. Item 6, Navy SEALs. And they do jobs. They're kind of military. They're kind of independent. I don't really know. They're Navy SEALs. Item 7, the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. Apparently, if you do something good and it has to do with your house, you get the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. Item 8, baptism. You are sealed by a priest. That's how I understand it anyway. Item 9 is the cooking technique known as sous vide. You take a piece of meat, you seal it in a bag, and you boil it. And it's supposed to be awesome. Item 10, gaskets. You got 2 pieces of metal, slap a gasket in between them, and you won't have any leaking fluids. Item 11, weather stripping. Put it on your windows, and you won't have cold air leaking into your old rickety house. Item 12, Ziploc bags. Take food items, put them in a bag, seal it up. Yellow and blue makes green, Tim. Item 13, wax seals. If you live in the medieval days and you have a letter to send, drip some wax on there and press your ring into it so everyone knows who it's from. Item 14, sealed court records. Did you commit a crime as a juvenile? Did you enter into some sort of complicated plea agreement? We'll never know because the records are sealed. Item 15, vacuum food savers. It's better than Tupperware. Put your stuff in a bag, suck all the air out, throw it in the refrigerator for a month. Item 16, the my lips are sealed gesture. It's just a gesture, but it indicates so much by saying so little. So here is the tournament round. That's where we pit all of these things against each other. Round 1, Navy SEALs versus the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. The Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval is automatically eliminated from the tournament. So the SEALs automatically advance to the next round.
That's what they do, John. That's what they do.
It's the song Signed, Sealed, Delivered versus Sealed Court Records. If you look back at the musical artists that have presented their songs over the past 50 years, you're not going to find anybody with more soul and more passion and more talent than Stevie Wonder. And the crowning achievement of his entire musical career is the song called Signed, Sealed, Delivered. If that song comes on and you don't dance, that's the easiest way to know if you don't have a soul. It is simply the best song ever created.
Wasn't Stevie Wonder blind? You know what else is blind? Justice. Justice is so blind, in fact, that if you commit crimes before you are legally of age, you have reached your age of majority, boom, sealed, and no one can know what they were. Because, mistakes of the past, let's let you get on with your life, okay? It's giving you a second chance at life.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the song Signed, Sealed, Delivered. But I think at some point, even though they're possibly sealed, there's always a chance that those might become unsealed at some point and your secrets will come spilling out. That song will still be there to hopefully pick up your spirits.
Ziploc bags versus sous vide cooking.
their main function is to keep food fresh longer. And not only that, they are a good way to protect your food when you're carrying it from one place to another. Just those being the cases on their own, boom, automatic win.
You poor, poor deluded fool. What you're doing is elevating the water itself to a precise, exact temperature and keeping it there the whole time. The food is technically immaculate. It is even, not even baking with air currents and convection going around it. It won't produce as even a cooking pattern as sous vide. Sous vide is a technical masterpiece. It is the height of cooking.
If sous vide is indeed the perfect way of cooking, it has to win this round.
And,
Justice, like beef bourguignon, is served.
Wax seals versus vacuum food savers. Back in the days before the Postal Service, the only way to know that a letter had been transmitted and unadulterated was the simple wax seal. Such a simple technology, yet so classy. And the time for wax seals is not over. If you send a letter today with a wax seal on it, that is classy as fuck.
the vacuum the vacuum sealer, not only can it seal food, it could probably do a much better job at sealing your letter and making it much more unlikely for someone to get into it. And it would preserve the contents of your letter for a longer period of time. You know, let's say you're getting a bunch of love letters, you know, from your intended, or you want to preserve those. You're not going to dip those in wax. You're gonna want to find a way to keep those safe in the long run. So, you know, vacuum seal those. I think that on its own, I think gives it a clear win.
I feel like you're referring to a laminator, so I'm going to have to rule against vacuum food savers.
Oh, come on.
The lips are sealed gesture versus baptism. There are few gestures that are universally understood. That's one of them. The list goes on and on. The other thing on the list is this. You can't speak once you've done that. It's a rule. You can make that gesture in any country on the entire planet, and they will know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm more interested in opening up one's spirit. I'm more interested in joining a broad community. That's what I'm interested in. And I say that baptism wins this hands down because it is a symbol of acceptance into a group at large. No secrets, only love.
I'm going to have to give it to the gesture simply because I think the gesture is more universal. I think it applies to more people, so I think I'm going to go with that.
Gaskets versus seals. Gaskets are what make automobiles possible. Gaskets are what make space travel possible. Pretty much anytime you have liquid in one place and you want to get it to another place, a gasket is responsible. You like having a flushing toilet? Thank you, gaskets.
While I don't know the exact precise number of years and millennia that seals have been around, they've clearly been around longer than gaskets. And also, who doesn't love the infants of seals? Baby seals are adorable. Try looking at one and tell me that you're not going to smile.
This is a hard one. I'm going to have to go with the animal seals. They're excellent, and they can probably hold together two pieces of metal as well.
Breaking the seal versus weather stripping. You have been out in the club, getting your groove on for hours and hours, and now that little throbbing from down below has become unignorable. And finally, you get to go pee. Now it's a 10-minute, every 10 minutes you're going to be in there in the bathroom. You get that feeling of relief every 10 minutes. And that is a gift you have given yourself now that you've broken the seal. Is there any better feeling than emptying your bladder? I challenge you to name even one.
How about the scientifically proven advantage of using weather stripping on your house to lower or even eliminate some heating bills and improve the lifetime of your home. Do you go with science or demagoguery?
I have to go with science.
Last match of round one, Seal the Singer versus the Cask of Amontillado. Can you name a soul singer who has won so many awards during his career that you can hardly count them? Can you name someone who has hits such as Kiss from a Rose or Killer or Crazy? Can you name someone who has been married to Heidi Klum for 9 years before splitting? Can you name someone who has a rare form of lupus? The answer to all of these questions, award-winning singer, Seal.
The Cask of Amontillado serves as a prototype for a type of horror perfected by Edgar Allan Poe. I dare say that the Cask of Amontillado is an insight into psychopathic horror. The Cask of Amontillado is just a lure, a trap. Oh, sorry. Spoilers. Forget I said anything.
Given the last directive of forget everything he just said, I think Seal immediately has to win since I've forgotten everything he just said.
Okay, here's round two. In this round, we present why our choices should not advance. So these are the weaknesses.
Ooh.
Navy SEALs versus signed, sealed, delivered.
The Navy SEALs are a part of the military and the executive branch and have to follow the president's orders.
Signed, sealed, delivered should not advance to the next round because it's just a song and it's an old song and it's probably not that important in the scheme of things. If it was a song that was any good, Taylor Swift probably would have covered it by now.
Signed, sealed, delivered moves on.
The negative points of Sous Vide and the negative points of wax seals.
Cooking is something that everyone should be able to do, and sous vide requires highly technical equipment. It requires specific heating elements. It's not for everyone. And when I want food, when I think of food, I think of something that I can share with my friends, not something complicated and technical, not something that's going to waste my afternoon.
People that use wax seals now are pretentious assholes that cling on to the past and insist on using obsolete technology just so they look fancier than they are.
I have to eliminate wax seals. I can't eat wax seals.
The lips are sealed gesture versus seals. It's a gesture. It's a very simple thing. People have been making this gesture for thousands and thousands of years. Babies can make that gesture. It's not complicated, and it does not deserve to advance.
Seals will eventually probably die out or go extinct.
Baby seals are really great to go clubbing with. I hear that around. I don't understand the attraction. They don't have legs, but to each their own. I'll have to try it someday. Between the gesture and the animal seals, which is worse, I would have to go with the gesture.
And last one in this round, weatherstripping versus seal.
Anything that is man-made is ultimately going to break down. Weatherstripping is one of those that seems to break down faster than any other thing on the planet almost. And I think weatherstripping is awful. And it has to be replaced, and it's going to be expensive to replace it. So for those reasons, it shouldn't advance.
Seal should not advance because Seal has not done any famous original work for at least 30 years. So if we were having this tournament in the year 1991, Seal might win, but it's the year 2020, and Seal's time for winning tournaments has long passed.
I gotta hand it to weatherstripping. Weatherstripping's just better. Seal couldn't even win the Masked Singer. Spoilers. Forget I said anything.
In this round, we say specifically why your item will defeat the other items. It is the song Signed, Sealed, Delivered versus Speed. If I am inviting a special lady over to the apartment, Sous Vide might be impressive. It also might be a train wreck of salmonella. if I do it wrong. However, there is no doing it wrong when you plug in signed, sealed, delivered. That is guaranteed happy times. You can't say the same with a foo-foo fancy French cooking technique.
Signed, Sealed, Delivered is but one of many songs that you can use to generate the mood. In fact, depending on which date it is, it might even be too strong. However, Sous Vide is a classic, and it is excellent to prepare and serve for anyone you might meet, especially someone you want to impress. Sous vide is an anytime dish. There should be a sous vide monster on Sesame Street.
Sous vide ultimately is going to take more time and effort, and it will be a lot more costly than being able to play your date such an enjoyable song. So for those reasons, I have to give it to Signed, Sealed, and Delivered.
Seals versus weather stripping. Seals are living, breathing creatures. Some of my best friends in the entire world are seals. Seals have never waged war on humans. If you try to stuff a seal in the cracks of a window, it would do it because a seal gives until it hurts. Seals are basically the greatest creature that has ever been created, and they deserve to win the tournament today.
You know what beats a seal? Weather stripping. You know why? Because weather stripping doesn't let the air through. Weather stripping seals it all in.
I'm going to have to give it to Seals. As helpful as weather stripping is, you know, it's going to break down, and Seals, I think, are going to outlast that.
It is the final round. It is the song Signed, Sealed, Delivered versus Seals. In this round, each one of us says specifically why our item should win the tournament called Sealed. If there ever were a song that could encapsulate the entire breadth of human existence, it is the song Signed, Sealed, Delivered. Every emotion that is capable for a human to feel is encapsulated in one song. That time I went and said goodbye, now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Oh baby, here I am. Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. I've done a lot of foolish things that I didn't really mean. We've all been there. This song is all of us. And this song deserves to win the tournament.
There is nothing in this world ultimately more beautiful and majestic as the animals that exist in nature. And seals are part of that. They are a creation of nature. They are a creation of this world. And they are, on their own, just incredible creatures that both kind of live within the water and on land. And I think that gives them enough of an edge. And not only are their offspring adorable, but they are helping to keep different populations of fish in order through sort of the food chain and everything like that. That allows them a very deserving spot as the winner of this tournament.
All right, Jimmy, your final thoughts and your decision.
You both bring up excellent points, and this decision has been one of the most difficult decisions that I have had to make recently, and I'm including the naming of my first child. What really seals this one. Dancing seal is first non-human mammal to keep a beat. Seals have successfully conquered music. So while Signed, Sealed, Delivered is a wonderful song, it's not as wonderful as the seal that can dance to it. That is my decision. My cat agrees.
Yay, congratulations to Seals and congratulations to you, Tim.
Whew.
Seals was your candidate and you came all the way. How do you feel right now?
I feel validated that Seals made it this far. Honestly, for a while it was touch and go. I didn't think that I would make it so far, even to make it to the final round. So it feels good.
I feel terrible. I lost miserably.
That wraps up this edition of the tournament. Seals goes into the Tournament Hall of Fame. Thanks so much for playing today, Tim and Jimmy. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all on our next edition of the tournament.
Wave from side to side. Let him know you're not frozen. This is really going to freak him out when he comes back on.
This is all part of the cult.